wanted to share what the Lord was revealing to me this morning. Somebody had asked a question about how to heal from trauma and triggers and all these things, and it was like everyone was replying with all these new age comments, and I'm like, that's fine. But there was a brief moment when I was like, I want to tell them about Jesus. And then I was like, yeah, but if somebody says something negative or they attack me, or I was like, okay. So I literally put in the comment, I was like, I'm going to piss some people off. And then I went on to share my story about how seeking the Lord has been like the key to healing from trauma. Like there's a lot of childhood trauma that the enemy tries to run me ragged with, but it's like the Lord has healed me and healing me from all of those things so that they're not triggers anymore, that I'm not sitting there claiming trauma. And I actually had an overwhelming response of people who were like all for it. Like it was like over 400 people now that liked or loved my comment and then also commented. I was like, wow. I say that to get to this. Why do we live in fear of sharing the gospel, right? I can see where it's in front of 1,000 people and all eyes are on you, the spotlight's on you, and it's like all of a sudden you just have to out of nowhere interrupt a giant crowd to say what you have to say, but there's not going to be that many people who are going to hear you anyways. So why do we live in fear about sharing on the internet? Okay? There's a bunch of people we'll never meet, and they're all irritated and angry anyways. So why don't you just say what you have to say, especially if it's going to lead to the Lord? So this is what the Lord started to speak to me. Don't allow the enemy to keep your light hidden. God gave you a voice, and now you have the internet. So we don't even have to verbally speak. We can type, we can share, we can post memes or things of inspiration to get our point across. And there's so many options. Don't back down from sharing. Don't allow that little small voice of fear in that brief moment of what are people going to think or say or respond. Like I was getting a little angry, I was getting a little worked up, and we need to get rowdy. We need to draw attention. We need to shine bright like a high beam in the dead of night. We need to create good, joyful, happy chaos in order to reflect and point to Him. Create a heavenly commotion. Create heavenly havoc. Stir it up. Stir people up. Stir up all that packed hate, anger, dust, debris, all that stuff that's just been sitting in there. Stir them up. Make your comment. Say something that is gonna, get them riled up a little bit. Get them a little angry. Get them thinking. Because once they read that comment, they can't unread it. That seed can be planted. And the Lord will water it. He'll take care of the rest. So get out there and do what you need to do. So create a heavenly havoc. Stir it up. Let that light in. Because once that's stirred up, right, that light and that peace can get in. And it's like such a fun visual. So to stir up the world around them, shift and jumble and unsettle the world in order to uncompress and unlay the compacted darkness and dust and debris. And so when you do, you see all that light and that peace shining through. And don't live in fear because it's these are people you're never going to meet, right? So we're not going to worry about it. And we're going to think about the opportunity of being able to get a seed planted, right? Be bold. Be courageous. Challenge yourself to speak out on His behalf. Be the one who lives a courageous life. Be the spark. Be the gardener who tills the soil. Be the one who causes a scene to draw attention to joy that loudly and vibrantly radiates off of you because of Him. Be the one who just points everything back to Him because your joy and your happiness is so bright and so radiant and so on fire for the Lord that people are like, what is happening? Who are you? Why? Why? Have them question why. It's so amazing to think that we can create a heavenly chaos. Right? We can live in such a way where we have smiles on our face and so much joy that it just radiates off of us. We're singing, we're praising, we're happy. And we are being an example of that. And we're not sitting and stewing on traumas and triggers and we're going, I know that the Lord has healed me. It doesn't matter. I'm believing, I'm praising in advance. I'm living in that life of going, I'm going to be a light because I was once in darkness, and go shake these people up with your comments. Get them riled up because you're speaking peace. You're speaking light and life, and it's riling them up and it's stirring it up, and that's okay. That's what we want to do. We want to do it with love and joy and peace and happiness and laughter. Anything that points people back to the Lord. So don't be afraid to get out there and say something online that could point somebody back to the Lord. Don't worry about what anybody's going to say. And it really all started because I made the comment and I had over like 300, 400 people, whatever, love and like that comment. And I was like, why are we hiding? Why are Christians hiding in these Facebook groups? Why are we hiding, being more bold to step out and say, hey, if you're looking for healing, Jesus is what brought my healing. Jesus is what brought my peace. Why aren't we being more open? Why are we hiding? Stop hiding. He tells you to not hide. He says you're like a light on the top of a hill. He said, don't hide it. Don't put a bowl over it. Don't let the enemy dim it. Don't let the enemy reduce it in any way, shape, or form. Be bold. Get out there. Share, speak, comment, post, whatever. Be that light. Be that change. Till that soil. Stir it up. Get people riled up in a good way. Heavenly havoc. Heavenly chaos. Bring it. Be it. Life's going to change if you do that. Lives around you are going to change if you do that. And could you just imagine what would come from it because you stepped out in faith and were bold and courageous and made a comment that was walking on eggshells in a sense? I said, I'm going to piss a lot of people off here, but this is why. I started to seek the Lord and chase the Lord, and everything changed. And it's like, you can be empathetic and not shove it down people's throat, but you can, gently be like, hey, this is what worked for me. Here's another option. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. But you know what? They can't unread that comment. That thought will not be rolling around in there for the rest of their lives. That is a seed planted, my friends. So go out there, be the gardener, be that heavenly chaos, stir up some lives, and allow the Lord's light and ability to come in and plant those seeds. Get out there. Don't be afraid. It's going to be great. And just think of all the good you're going to do for the glory of God. And it's literally that simple. And don't do it with a spiteful heart. Just be like, you know what? I'm going to do it because I know that this person deserves to know the Lord like I do. But also, you know what? I'm going to stir it up. I'm going to create some heavenly havoc. All right. Get out there. Love you guys.